Hi all and welcome back. The not-so-shadow drop of the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion finally happened. I've been extremely excited for this one, especially because, and please don't kill me for saying this, I liked Oblivion more than Skyrim. I'll explain why at the end, and I'd love to hear which Elder Scrolls is your favorite. Obviously, Oblivion is pretty old, so a remaster was about time. I'll put timestamps in the description. First, I'll quickly go over what Oblivion is, then how it compares to Skyrim, and after that, I'll cover what's new in the remaster. In Oblivion, you need to stop a Daedric prince from invading the Empire. The game is set in the province of Cyrodiil. Beyond that, it's what you'd expect from a Bethesda game open-world RPG. Questlines, including the famous Dark Brotherhood and other guilds, NPCs with daily routines, and a world full of side quests and dungeons to explore. And of course, you can build out your own character. You know, typical open-world RPG stuff. Since that all sounds pretty generic, let me break it down more by comparing it to Skyrim. Skyrim has a classless system, while in Oblivion, you choose a class at the start. Leveling in Skyrim works the traditional way: gain XP through actions and quests, then level up. In Oblivion, your progression is tied to your major skills, which are defined by your class. For example, if you're a ranger and use a bow, your archery skill goes up and helps you level. This wasn't as rigid as it sounds. You could still combine it with mage skills, and those would level too. They just start lower and don't level you up as fast, but they still improve through use. That flexibility let you experiment a lot, even if the system could be confusing at first. Oblivion was also more of a numbers-driven RPG. It had 8 attributes, like strength, intelligence, and luck, while Skyrim only has 3 core stats: health, magicka, and stamina. You had to think a bit more about how your character grew. A huge difference is spellcrafting. In Oblivion, you can create your own spells by combining effects. Skyrim removed this completely, and honestly, I've never really understood why. It was one of the best parts of the magic system. Combat-wise, Oblivion puts more emphasis on stamina and fatigue. It's not a Souls-like, but stamina really matters. You can't just swing endlessly. In Skyrim, it's more forgiving. Then there's the enemy scaling. In Oblivion, the world scales with you more aggressively. It gets kind of ridiculous. At higher levels, you'll enter a dungeon and it's suddenly full of the highest-ranking goblins. It's hilarious, and a bit broken, but kind of iconic. And while I can't really speak for the main story, I've played Oblivion for hundreds of hours and never finished it. Many players say it's stronger than Skyrim's. The guild quest lines, especially the Dark Brotherhood, are still legendary. I think those were the main differences. Now, for the remaster, they completely rebuilt the game in Unreal Engine 5. All the add-ons are included in the main game, except for the horse armor, of course. That one is actually part of the Deluxe Edition. At this point, that just had to be done, I guess. Everything else is included. On top of that, the UI and UX got a full overhaul. The animations have been redone to make combat feel more impactful, and they also reworked the leveling system. They even added sprinting. Honestly, this feels more like a remake than a remaster. Before I wrap this up, let's touch on why I like Oblivion more than Skyrim. For me, it gave a greater sense of freedom, and that's the most important thing. That's why I play these games in the first place. In Skyrim, it often felt like I was being pulled back toward the main quest. In Oblivion, for huge parts of the game, it genuinely felt like you could just do whatever you wanted. Also, the way you leveled in Skyrim, you didn't really have to think about it. You just played and got stronger. But in Oblivion, you had to plan your build and grow your character by using specific skills. That gave everything an extra layer of depth. I liked that it rewarded intention. And honestly, Oblivion just felt more like a true RPG. Skyrim is a great game, but it leans more toward action with RPG elements. Oblivion felt like the reverse, a real RPG with action layered in. I'm not dunking on Skyrim. It's still amazing. Oblivion just happens to be more my taste. To summarize, Oblivion is a similar RPG to Skyrim, but with more depth. I've got really fond memories of it, and I can't wait to dive back in. The remaster brings it into the modern age by building it in Unreal 5. And how much I like those changed, how much the other systems hold up, I'll let you know in a future video. In the meantime, you'll also find a first impression on the channel. Are you playing Oblivion? Let me know in the comments. Also, I'd love to hear which Elder Scrolls game is your favorite.